Hello and welcome to the Loco Leeds football channel with my official Facebook group partner, Leeds Plus. It's Jinder Jade with a very special episode of, wait for it guys, The Fan View. Welcome to each and everyone who is joining us on all social media platforms. You are most welcome. Good afternoon or good morning or wherever you're watching in the world. Could it be good morning? Could it be good evening? Who knows? But guys, I've got a really good guest here because, as you know, Leeds United are going to be facing West Ham United, and I have got a very, very special guest who's given his time up to speak to the El Loco Leeds football channel, and each and every one of you guys, he's going to give us some inside knowledge on West Ham United. It's Ben Glander from the West Ham Fan channel, a fantastic YouTube channel. I'm going to talk to him about the YouTube channel. I'm going to talk to him about West Ham United. Let's welcome him on. How are you doing, my friend?
Firstly, thank you for having me on. I do like to do collaborations, so thank you for having me on. And I'm doing very well, thank you. I hope you're well, and I'm expecting a good game tomorrow.
You're most welcome, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk to you, my friend. Right, so we have the comments are already coming in, and I'm just going to flash that comment quickly here. Retro Electro Brothers, love it, my friend. Thank you for joining, and a big hello to yourself, mate. Right, so this is the Fan View, Ben, and this is where I try to talk to fans of opposing teams. Sometimes we even speak to Leeds fans, but this is the third episode, and you're the third guest, and Leeds are going to be facing your team. First of all, you have had a tremendous season, a season that wasn't expected. As a neutral fan, I don't know whether you were expecting it either. So tell me a little bit how you're feeling about this particular season and West Ham.
Well, firstly, like one of my first ever videos on my YouTube channel, I've done like a West Ham predictions. Where I thought we'd finish in the season, and to be honest, I predicted us to finish 17th. I wasn't confident at all with this season. We hadn't signed anyone. Like we made Souček a permanent transfer because he was a loan deal last January, and we had Bowen. But apart from that, we had exactly the same squad from last season that just narrowly avoided relegation. So I predicted 17th, and then obviously we played Newcastle at home. And looking at our next 6 or 7 fixtures after that game, despite it only being the first game of the season, it was a must-win. It was almost like, a relegation 6-pointer because we thought in our heads, right, we're going to struggle. And looking at our next couple of fixtures, we needed to win this game. And I can accept defeat, but it was the way we lost against Newcastle. We were absolutely terrible, and we lost 2-0, and we all thought, we're going to go down. And then we had a bit of promise against Arsenal the following week. We played really, really well. We didn't take our chances, and we probably should have won the game. In that game, we reverted to a back five for the first time this season, and we started going along with that. We picked up some very good victories against Wolves and Leicester back-to-back, and they weren't just victories. They were victories like 3 or 4-0. They were resounding victories where we played really well. And I think everyone at West Ham at the moment is just sort of bought into David Moyes' philosophy in terms of, he does like technical players. He does like technical players, but the first thing that you've got to do is work hard for the team. And that's probably the same as Marcelo Bielsa. Bielsa's obviously, from watching Leeds, is someone that likes high-intensity football, but you could be the most blessed player on the planet in terms of technical ability, but if you're not going to work hard for the team, if you're not going to run into spaces and whatnot and provide an outlet for players that are on the ball, then you're probably not going to get in this team. And that is something similar. I know they play 2 completely different styles of football, Bielsa and Moyes, but I think some principles like their work ethic are, they're similar in terms of both managers and what they look for in players.
Yes. I mean, like I said, I've been so impressed with West Ham's approach. I mean, it's a style that particularly works for your team, and the players that you've got are incredibly strong, and it's been a very settled squad, I've got to say. I mean, there's not been, you're running a good ship, and that's always great for any club, and there seems to be no turmoil. I don't want to jinx anything, but usually you've had the likes of, what was it, David Gold and Sullivan, and you had all this palaver with your football stadium, and it just seems like a very settled team and a settled club, and everybody's sort of singing on the right hymn sheet. So that's a positive for you guys as well. And I'm just thinking on Monday it's going to be a very difficult game. It's going to be an interesting game, because if we reverse our minds back to the last game when we played yourselves, it was a very we were very unlucky to lose, but you guys dug in there, and you got the victory at Elland Road. Just your thoughts on the game that we played at Elland Road.
The game at Elland Road, yeah, it was a good game. It was the first game, because we literally got Masuaku injured. We were playing a lot of the five at the back previously. That's where we were getting a lot of our results. And Masuaku, who's been carrying this injury for a while, he said he literally got to a point of this pain threshold that he had to have an operation. And it was the first time we reverted to a back four. And because we knew how you guys, going forward, that you are very expensive, and we know how fragile we were in a back four, we thought, oh, well, right, we could get spanked here. Like, how are we going to adapt to maybe going to a back four? And to be honest, we coped pretty well with, your main assets. I think, obviously, your two best players, in my opinion, are Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. That Rafinha guy, for me, he's unreal. Like, he's easy a 50-60 million pound player, I think, right now. Like, he's that good, I think. And and that just obviously is huge credit to Leeds scouting network, because I don't know how much you paid for him, but I don't think it was 20 million. It might have been 17-18 million. But what a player he is. What a player.
You're bang on there, Benny. We got him for a steal in today's prices, because the prices are sky high, and you've said some really nice things about Rafinha. We got him for 18 million pounds from a team called Rennes in France. So we managed to pick up a decent player. Not many people knew about him. I mean, I didn't know about Rafinha or anything of that. But like I said, it's the thing with Marcelo Bielsa is the team that you're seeing is a championship side, and the work ethic is just phenomenal. The amount of running our team does. It's a credit to the backroom staff and the management at Leeds United, the recruitment. Like I said, it comes down to the club being run well, and you're seeing the fruits of your labour now with this season, as the club being run well. West Ham, you've done really well on the pitch, because if you've got the stuff off the pitch working really good for you, on the pitch sort of takes care of itself. And with Moyes, he was a very successful manager at Everton. He went to Manchester United. Now, if you think about it, he was filling a very tough spot there, because to follow Alex Ferguson. I have a lot of friends who are on our channel and who are Arsenal fans, and some of them are disgruntled with Mikel Arteta. But Wenger leaving Arsenal was a massive thing. Ferguson the same, leaving Man United, and then anybody to follow. And it was David Moyes who had the unenviable task of following Alex. So he struggled, but his ethics, his style of football never went. He's implemented it really well at West Ham. So I just want to ask you quickly as well, seeing that you're here to give us some insights, and forgive me, because I didn't know a great deal about the West Ham players, because like I said, last season was last season. This season's completely different. Can you shed some light on your key players, sir?
So obviously there's reports that we might not have our number one goalkeeper, which is Fabianski. But apparently Moyes has said that he's trained the last couple of days and he will have a late fitness test. So obviously, confidence-wise, in terms of if we don't have our number one goalkeeper in Fabianski, he's been unreal for us. He's been a really good signing when we paid 7 million for him. He's getting on a bit, so he's someone we need to maybe look at replacing in the summer. And obviously, due to his age, he's getting injuries. They're becoming more occurring, and obviously that the length of recovery period is obviously lengthening due to his age. Craig Dawson as well, and I couldn't believe I would say this at the beginning of the season, because West Ham, we've always, when we got moved to the London Stadium, we got promised, right, we're gonna try and compete with the bigger teams. We're a big club in London, not the biggest, but we are a big club. And we're gonna try and sign these players, and we were basically scattergunning 30-40 million pound for defenders. We wanted Tarkowski, we wanted that Fofana that went to Leicester in the end, and we ended up with Craig Dawson, who'd just been relegated with Watford, and it was underwhelming. We were trying to sign 30 million pound players, we ended up with a loan signing. He come into the team halfway through the end of the season, and he's been absolutely unreal for us. Ogbonna is another one for us. He's out injured, unfortunately, so he won't play. So Diop will step in. And a lot of our players, we've got a lot of key players. I think Soufal for £5 million, which is another sort of sign that, Moyes has got his scouting. We don't really have a scouting system at West Ham. We literally have one scout in the club, and it's something that David Moyes wants to sort out. Like, whilst everything at the moment is going well on the pitch, there's a lot of things actually in terms of the training ground that needs upgraded. Scouting networks need to be upgraded. He realises that, and he knows with West Ham this is a long-term project. Whilst we are doing well right now, probably ahead of schedule, depending where we do finish, of course. And then obviously you've got the midfield partnership, and I think that the midfield partnership is the foundations as to why we've had a fantastic season in terms of Declan Rice and Thomas Souček, and they complement each other fantastically well. And last season, before Souček signed, Declan Rice was literally just a defensive midfielder in terms of he wouldn't venture towards over the halfway line. He'd literally go left and right, and he was sitting just in front of the back four. But and that is because we had Noble next to him, and Noble's a West Ham legend, of course. But obviously, as he's got older, whilst he's still got technical ability, his athleticism and just sort of his stamina, and he's getting up to, he's catching up with his age. He's like 33, 34. And we signed Souček, and he's someone that can be box to box. And Declan Rice realises that if he does venture a little bit forward, that Souček has got the legs to cover him and sort of be that sort of defensive midfielder. And we've seen another level to Rice's game this season. He's been absolutely wonderful. He's getting a lot more forward as well. He isn't scoring goals, but he's making those passes in the final third. And Souček as well, running from deep, has been wonderful. We picked him up for like £14 million, and he's got 8 goals this season from central midfield. And he's been unreal. And then of course you've got Mikel Antonio and Jesse Lingard. Antonio, he's not the most polished striker in the world. He was a winger that was converted into a striker. And, if you compared him to Bamford, for example, Patrick Bamford's more of a polished striker. He was a natural striker, and Antonio wasn't. So he sort of probably lacks that killer instinct. But what Antonio brings us is he's brutal strength. You hold the ball up to him, 9 times out of 10, it will stick to him. And if you looked at the Man City games, obviously everyone raves about Ruben Diaz and how well he's been for Man City. The 2 games that we've played against Man City, Antonio has run him into the ground. And we narrowly lost undeservedly against Manchester City. And then Lingard's come into the team. And, I was watching another Leeds channel, and they said that, West Ham have been a little bit more expansive, since Lingard has come in. And I don't necessarily agree, because I think what it is that we've still been tight defensively and playing the same way. It's just that we've been making better decisions going forward because Lingard's just that little bit better of a player than we've got maybe Bowen, Ben Rama and Fornals. So I just think we've just been making the right decisions at the right time more often, which obviously, just means that we have more attacks or counter-attacks. So there are key players: Antonio, Lingard, Rice, obviously Souček, and Dawson, Soufal, I would say at the moment, and Fabianski.
It's interesting that you pick out Jesse Lingard being that step up and that calibre of player, because as Leeds fans, we know some of the players that you've just mentioned, Jared Bowen from our time in the Championship, because you bought him from Hull City, and he was very good in the Championship, and also Said Ben Rama, he was also a top player for Brentford. But the player that you're getting now, Jesse Lingard, obviously played for Man United, and us Leeds fans, we don't have much love for Man U. But you know, he's an England international, and you could see him play. You know, when he's because I saw your game against Man City. He looked live. He looked like he wants to play there. He knows the Euros are coming up, so he wants to give that 110%. And I think West Ham, some clubs are one of them that is the right fit for the right player. So I think with the way your team is sort of playing with him, but do I believe is it a loan deal, Ben, or is it a permanent?
So with Lingard, it's a loan deal at the moment. There was no option to buy, but he does have he does have 1 year left on his contract, and we've got a source at West Ham. He used to work for the club, and he's still got a lot of good sources. And 9 times out of 10, he is spot on with his transfers. He has said that Lingard wants to stay at West Ham. Judging by what he's portrayed in terms of, he calls West Ham his family already. He looks like he enjoys London, and there's not much you can do right now in London. But in terms of going out for walks and sort of seeing what's around, so I'm hoping we sign him. Even though he's 28, if Man United want 20 million or 25 million, and he's only got a year left on his contract. And I think they've done that on purpose. They knew that maybe Lingard could come to West Ham, sort of, get some good form, and that would obviously push up his transfer value a little bit. And he probably has, because he probably would have been, if he didn't play, he probably would have been leaving for 10 million in the summer. Someone would have maybe taken a chance at 10 million, but now he's played well for West Ham. They're probably going to be getting at least 20. So Lingard, I'm hoping Lingard stays, but at the moment it's just a loan.
So it's great. I mean, like I said, you've made that step up, and that just shows, a team progressing. If you're signing the likes of, players from Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, or, some of the top 6 teams, you're not looking at the Championship no more. So that's a step in the right direction. Just going to go to the comments for a second. Just need to say a few shout outs to, like I said, the El Loco Leeds football channel. We welcome each and every one. We always try to give a reasonable view. Obviously, we're a Leeds fan channel, but all fans of football are welcome to join in. And let me just get on to some of my friends of the channels. And Arsenal fans are in the chat. HJ90, wonderful chap. He says, yes, big up, bro. Thank you. And I'm glad you're enjoying the live stream. We've got an Everton fan, young Lewis, who's just joined. Hello to you, Lewis. And Everton are having a phenomenal season as well. And it's nice to see some of the, not being disrespectful, but, the likes of Liverpool and Man United, they've dominated the top 6 a fair bit. So it's good to see Everton coming through. And also, Arsenal Alex, good afternoon, sir. I'm glad you've joined in. Jason, I've just seen you. Hello to you. Easy mate, hello there, buddy. And also Ian Glander, hello to you, sir. Good afternoon. So, right, Ben, we've touched upon your key players. You fear Rafinha and Calvin Phillips. You've noted as key players for Leeds. Is there anybody else that you fear from our team?
So I think you have got some very good players. You got Ayling. I think Ayling could do a job like across the back 4. I've seen him play. He played centre back against West Ham, I think, and don't quote me. Is he a right back or left back naturally? He's one of those positions, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, see, with our team and the way Marcelo Bielsa's system is, it's a very fluid system. So we can interchange with positions. We've got a player called Stuart Dallas. I don't know whether you were going to come on to him. He plays various positions for us. He's like the ultimate utility man. And, we're very lucky to have him. But like I said, it's a team that sort of, like you said, with Luke Ayling, he's a right back by trade, but we've moved him into centre half. But then he goes back as a right back. So we've got players who are interchangeable in positions, and I'm hoping that we get the right team out, because it's going to be a task against you guys. But so you're saying Luke Ayling, and you're saying
I like Luke Ayling because I think against you guys the first time, he had Haller in his pocket. He was really, really good, Luke Ayling. Then obviously you got Rafinha, Calvin Phillips. Obviously you can't ignore Bamford. The goals he scored this season.
Yeah.
And I think he was one of those strikers that may be coming into the Premier League because he's had Premier League experience with like Crystal Palace, he's at Chelsea and stuff like that. And he was probably one of those strikers before coming into this season that maybe could have only cut it in the Championship. Those strikers. He's coming this season, and some of his goals have been magnificent. Like the one that really sticks out in my mind was Aston Villa away when you guys won 3-0. And he was like a left foot top corner, but he didn't really look like he had any sort of viable option to shoot, and he somehow stuck it in the top corner. Who else do you have? Harrison, I think's okay. I think Harrison's okay. But yeah, I think the main ones are Bamford, Rafinha. You've got Click as well, who could sort of rotate. Rodrigo, obviously, you guys bought from Valencia for like 30 million. But I think, with Leeds, you guys, I think Calvin Phillips is possibly especially the way you guys play. Calvin Phillips will drop deep, sometimes operate as a third centre-back to receive the ball. He'll carry the ball 5 or 10 yards, play it out wide, play it out left. You're very aggressive out wide. You have Luke Ayling or you have Dallas who's played at right back or left back. And I think now he's played a couple of times in centre midfield as well. Yeah. So said, a lot of your players are versatile and comfortable with rotational play and stuff like that. So it's going to be a tough test for West Ham. But the thing that, when we played you guys the first time that I think was very important was Ben Rama. It was one of his first starts for West Ham. And I think Dave always does like him because he knows he's technically good, but it's what he does off the ball. Can he work hard? And he done a good job on Calvin Phillips and stopped, the centre-backs like Ayling and Cooper get the ball and then give it to Calvin Phillips. And I think, I don't know if he's going to play because obviously, unfortunately, he did lose his nan. Condolences for that. But so I don't know if he is going to play, but if he doesn't play, obviously it's a bonus to West Ham.
He's looking like he did pick up an injury before the unfortunate passing of his nan. But I think that sort of we've probably gave him some compassionate leave or something like that. But he has got an injury, but. You never know. His injury may have cleared up, and at the end of the day, when something like that happens, you've got to give the player or anybody some time and space, and then let nature take its course. But like I said, you've said some really good things about Leeds, and like I said, I am looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to this game more than the one that we played in another team who's got claret and blue. We've ended up having this mini rivalry with Aston Villa, but the game against Villa was just it just wasn't the right one for us, and this game couldn't come quick enough for us. But it feels like it's such an age away because I really enjoy games coming in quick after we've lost, so we can just get it out of the way and get back on the horse. But I'm just quickly just going to go to this comment. I've got to just mention, Ian's just come up with a great question. What was your expectations for this season? Are you happy with the way things have gone? Ian, we did answer this earlier, and I think it's to you, Ben. This is just for Ian.
It's to you because it's my dad.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's to you.
You know what? My apologies there, Ian. When I saw the actual icon, it looked like it's the Leeds third kit. So, Ian, I'll just quickly answer that. What was my expectation for the season for Leeds? I thought a very comfortable, maybe to stay in the league was the ideal objective for us because it was going to be a difficult season, especially with with this season being such an unprecedented season, with it being lockdown and everything, and the pandemic. If we had just taken 16th or 15th or something like that, that would be fantastic. So the way the season has progressed for us, and the way I'm hoping for it to finish, if we can get a top 10 finish, as in like 10th or 11th, that will be a fantastic fantastic first season for us. And, what I'm very pleased with is that after 16 years of coming back into the Premier League, Leeds have really sort of been everybody's second team, it feels like, because the way we've played football, the way we've gone about it, you've seen other teams coming in from the Championship and spending X amount of money and then, just not doing anything. The thing that you've seen is Marcelo Bielsa playing football the right way. You've seen he's actually enhanced the players, the squad that you see, these players, the likes of Ayling, Dallas, Cooper, these are all, with all due respect, players who have played in the lower leagues and played in the Championship. But for them to get a step up in the Premier League and the way we are playing our football is just, it's so refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air, and long may it continue. I'm hoping it continues on Monday, but like I said, it is going to be a difficult game. But I'm hoping, Ian, that's answered your two questions, and you're most welcome on the El Loco channel. No problems at all. Right, Jason has just West Ham are the most surprising team this season. I think Ben does agree with you as well, do you, Ben? That Ben, just a quick one. Do you think the fans have had an impact? Do you think you would have had a good season, or as good a season, if you had fans at the London? Is it London Stadium?
Yeah. So this is a question.
I call it Upton Park then.
Yeah. So this is a question that that is being thrown around a lot with our fan base because do I think we would be sitting where we are if we did? No, I don't. Quite frankly, so? I don't think so. Because we were a disgruntled fan base in the summer. We sold. Moyes wanted to go down this route of he wants to buy young, exciting players from the Championship and like Ben Rama, Bowen that we bought in January. Yeah. We had one with Ben Glander. He done really well in the Championship with West Brom. We sold him to West Brom, and then we ended up buying Ben Rama because of it. But we hadn't, improved on the squad in any way, shape, or form because we hadn't signed Soufal at the time. And we just had the same squad that just narrowly escaped relegation. And then the way we lost to Newcastle, if there were fans there would have been there. I think there would have been West Ham as a fan base. 90% of West Ham fans still want the board out, despite us having a good season. We see it's in spite of the board. It's all David Moyes because at the end of the day, the club give him no money to spend to sign players. He had like £5 or so million. He bought Soufal. We pretty much had the same squad from last season, and it's worked out. He's doing the best with the players. So it isn't the board. Oh right, the board have given him 100 million. He's bought these players with the money. We're doing fantastic. So it's in spite of the board, and it's a huge credit to David Moyes where we are. So what would have happened? We would have lost to Newcastle with fans who've been there. We would have been disgruntled, and I think that may have affected our form. Leading up, we might have not picked up a win at Wolves because we would have lost at Arsenal away. We'd have gone into the third game, maybe still disgruntled because we lost the way we lost to Newcastle. And I think there are sometimes this season, with West Ham where we've nicked it right at the end, like Fulham at home, we won 1-0. Like we beat West Brom within the last 10 minutes, 2-1. And there's been quite a few games this season where we have nicked it in the last 10 or so minutes. And obviously me being, a former season ticket holder at West Ham at the London Stadium, I've been there when teams that we should be beating at home and the last 10 or so minutes, West Ham fans, they're getting disgruntled, they're getting agitated, we're not going, forward enough, or we're losing the ball, there's a turnover possession, and you can hear and know the groans and whatnot. So do I believe? I don't think we would be fourth, but I still think would we have a good season, maybe like 10th, maybe. Yeah. But I do still think, with no fans, maybe the players have had that sort of pressure, especially in those games where we they haven't felt the pressure, especially in those games where in the last 10 or 15 minutes against those teams that we have picked up points late on in the game. Yeah.
I mean, look, these are just ifs and buts, and we're just speculating. You could have, who knows you with the fans, seeing that you're fourth, because I know as a Leeds fan, Elland Road is such a cauldron of fire. The atmosphere is electric, and sometimes we can suck in the ball into the net anyways, and sometimes when a team is on a run like that, if you were fourth and you had 50 odd thousand, I mean, it's a big stadium, that stadium of yours. Fans come in and you could be maybe second or third or something. The momentum carries you on. So this is all speculations and ifs and buts. But
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If there were fans right now and we were fourth, it would be obviously. We've had some very, very good nights at London Stadium, like beating Tottenham at home in the league 1-0 when they're fans. We've had some very good nights, so we know that the potential is there. Obviously, it's never going to be Upton Park, of course, but there is potential. And right now, it would be absolutely bouncing. But obviously, leading up to that sort of point. If we had fans right at the beginning of the season, which may have affected that run coming quicker. I just don't think we would be like where we are. I think we might have been 10th. We would have stayed away from relegation because I think Moyes still would have got the best out of the team. But I just don't think we might have got those extra wins here and there where we nicked it late if we had fans. If I'm honest.
Excellent. That's great. Ben, I'm just going to ask you, because I am conscious about the time, because we've been going on for an extra, we've been going on for about 30 minutes. It doesn't feel like that. Live streams are always like that. But just going to quickly ask you about your team's current form, just the last couple of games. I know that you lost against Man City in midweek, was it?
Yeah, no, it was last Sunday. I think last Saturday. It was an early kickoff.
Okay. So your team's current form?
Yeah, so we've had a fantastic 2021 so far in terms of points. I think we might be second or third to Manchester City. Obviously, Manchester City have been flawless, and we've always been a team that when we have had a decent start to the season, after Christmas, we had it with Sam Allardyce. We were sitting like fourth at Christmas, and we had it with Sam Allardyce, and it just tumbled down. We ended up finishing 12th or 13th after being fourth for Christmas Day. So it was really important the way we went into 2021 that we would continue this sort of momentum, and we have. And Manchester City, where we lost 2-1, it was the only game looking at our fixtures, and we have got some fixtures. We've got like some bigger teams. We've got like Arsenal still to come. Obviously, you guys. We got Manchester United, but Man City was the one where when we looked at it and analysed our remaining fixtures, that's realistically the one where we probably would think we have absolutely no chance, and that is mainly not because of us, how well we've done this season, just a reflection of how good Manchester City are right now, and the way we played and the way we nullified their threats, and they essentially scored with their only 2 shots on target, and I'd imagine Moyes is probably disappointed the way we conceded, especially the first one, being just a direct ball over the top with a header. And that's sort of our bread and butter is, we're very good in the air. And, I don't think we fear anyone this season. I think Man City was the only one where you could probably go, we probably realistically have no chance. But our remaining games, I think we honestly could pick up points in, against obviously you guys, Arsenal at home, United away. So we have had a very good start to 2021. We really have. Our form has been fantastic, and that's a credit to David Moyes and the playing staff and the coaching staff behind him.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, it's been good, and I watched that game against Man City, and you guys were very, very unlucky, and because Man City are they really are a fantastic team, and Pep is just a phenomenal manager. Just touching upon what your dad just said, there is no home advantage this season, which is absolutely correct. And Jason also just saying that I'm living off the Leeds channels at the moment. I think we all are at the moment, Jason. This just keeps us. We were talking off air, me and Ben, where that YouTube is just, it's keeping you happy, it's keeping us happy. Ben's an awesome content creator, and I'm going to ask him a little bit later on about his YouTube channel. But thank you for each and every one who's joined us, actually, and it's you guys who make the channels, not for as I kick my light away. So this is the beauty of home studios. There's no director; it's you, me, and Ben. So Ben, quickly, I'm going to get you to play out your management dreams. Can you tell me your team's predicted 11, sir?
So I think Fabianski will start. I think it will be Soufal, Diop, Dawson, Cresswell. I think it will be obviously Rice and Souček. It will be Lingard. I think there's room for maybe debate with Ben Rama because he did have a really good game, I felt, against Leeds. And he has played really well when he has played in a 4 just behind the striker with Lingard. And there's been some huge promise, especially against Aston Villa away. So there's some argument that he might come in for either Fornals or Bowen. I think Ben Rama is going to come in for Bowen. So it's going to be Bowen, Lingard, Fornals, Antonio. That's my predicted 11. If it ain't Ben Rama, it will be Bowen, Fornals, Lingard. But that's the team, I think.
Okay, it's a good team, that is. You've got some really good attacking players there, and I just wanted to ask you that I read on Friday because we tend to do a bit of research for upcoming games and opposition teams. You had a couple of players out, so the back 4 that you've chosen is that the regular back 4?
So obviously, a lot of this season, we have been rotating between 5 and the 4 at the back. In the back 4, normally the one that is missing that would normally play is Ogbonna instead of Diop, who's been absolutely magnificent. Like Ogbonna, he's one of those players that are very underappreciated by other fans in terms of he's been right up there in terms of the best centre backs in the Premier League this season. But you only ever hear
unsung hero.
Yeah, you only ever hear the ones that play for Man City, Man United, or those kind of teams, and he's been magnificent. So he's the main one out of the starting 11 that would have started if he was available. Obviously, there was some debate whether Fabianski, because he didn't play against Manchester City, and then our second goalkeeper was actually got injured against Manchester City. So obviously we might have to play our third goalkeeper, but from what I understand is that he trained the last 2 days and he's going to have a late injury test on Monday. So I'm going to imagine he's going to pass it because he's trained the last 2 days. So that's the only one. Ogbonna is, but we have got a very thin squad. We have been very lucky with injuries, which I think has helped us going forward because a lot of time, West Ham, we will get 10, 11, 12 injuries at once, and we've got a very, very small squad. And the only injury that we are all sort of wary of at West Ham is Antonio because we don't have another striker. We sold Haller, we didn't replace him. Apparently, Moyes had the money available, but with Moyes, they call him Different Dave. Like he's got a nickname, Different Dave, because he takes so long to make a decision in terms of transfers because the money that he gets, he treats it as like his own, and he's not just trying to buy a player, but he's trying to buy a personality. Are they going to fit in with a team and whatnot? And I think it's a very good way of doing it, but obviously it does come sort of with his cons, like we haven't signed a replacement because obviously he didn't feel like the replacement was out there. So obviously if we get an injury to Antonio, our backup striker was Yarmolenko and he got an season-ending injury against Manchester United in the FA Cup. So Ogbonna's the only one, but if we got an injury to Antonio, our season could easily just go down a drain, to be honest.
Yeah, because in the first game, Antonio didn't play against Leeds.
I didn't play.
Was it Haller?
That's the thing. Yeah, Haller. That's the thing because obviously Haller, whilst he was a Pellegrini signing, he was never a David Moyes signing. David Moyes, obviously, because he wasn't a David Moyes signing, he wasn't bothered about the price tag and had pressure. Like if he had spent 45 million on a striker, he probably would have worked harder to make it work. But Haller wasn't our type of player. We try and sit deep, we try and exploit spaces left by teams, and Haller just wasn't mobile enough. So obviously Antonio is a completely different animal to what you guys experienced with Haller. So obviously now we've got Antonio back in the side against you guys, and obviously you guys are very expensive. I'm interested to see how Antonio sort of deals with that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an exciting game, and it's going to be interesting to see how we cope with the strength, the brute force of Antonio. So can I quickly have a predicted score?
I think it's going to be a close game. I do think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. Obviously, I'm going to back my team.
Good.
I do think it's going to be a close game. I think you guys, whilst we had chances at Ellen Road, you guys had chances at Ellen Road. You guys could have nicked it in the 90th minute to get a draw with Rodrigo when he headed it straight at Fabianski. And you guys are expensive. You are going to ask questions of us. If we could just keep the danger men quiet, like I don't obviously if Phillips plays, but if we can keep Rafinha quiet, because I feel like he's the one that sort of the a lot of Leeds players probably look to if Calvin Phillips isn't there, because obviously because Calvin Phillips will sort of try and create from a deeper position, and then you got Rafinha who plays on the right hand side, who's predominantly left footed, and he'll try and create from there. And if we can nullify his threats, and to be fair, we done very well against Bamford the first time, because I think he got taken off in like the 60th or 70th minute, and we done very well at like nullifying Bamford. And if we could do that again and try and nullify Rafinha, then I'm confident we can get 3 points, because I think you guys will, you will attack us, and it's whether we can sort of deal with that and exploit, what you guys leave behind, which is the space. So yeah, I do feel it'll be a close game though. It could go either way. As my dad's alluded to earlier, there's no home advantage this season. No. So and it's a big. To be fair, it's a big pitch, you guys. It might suit you down to the ground. It's a big.
We've got this thing called the London sort of curse. We don't win in London, and even in my pre-match video, I was talking a little bit about this. But we I think the away surface might suit us, because we're having some terrible problems with our pitch at Ellen Road. We've got a hybrid pitch, which we got from your neighbours, Tottenham Hotspur. They sold us this pitch, and it's a bit of an ice ring at the moment at Ellen Road. We can't seem to sort of play our football. So we're grateful for the away games, and like I said, your stadium is good, and your pitch looks fantastic. So, but it should be an interesting game. In my pre-match video, I went for a 1-1 draw, and very tentatively I went for a 1-1 draw, because, like I said, I don't like to be negative about my team, and because I always believe that with Leeds, we can either win or we can lose, and we will play the way we play our football, even if it was like Barcelona, and it had the likes of Messi and all Suarez and all that personnel, that we won't change our style at all. So it's refreshing to see. But but if we can get a 1-1 draw or anything really, that would be great. But it's going to be an incredibly difficult game. And just quickly see what some people have said in the actual comments. Regular subscriber of the channel, Leeds fan Shabazz Ahmed. We should get a refund on the pitch. Yeah, he wants a refund. And so what's he said here? West Ham will win, marching on together. So there you go. There's a Leeds fan who's backing West Ham at the moment. But, it's football, isn't it? It's a game of opinions. But, Ben, can you tell the wonderful audience that have joined us today, and I say a big thank you to everybody who's joined us on Facebook and my YouTube channel, and maybe on Ben's Twitter as well, or Facebook. Ben, where can we find you?
Yeah, so just my name, Ben Glander. If you search that, you'll see Ben Glander West Ham fan channel. I kept it pretty simple, so it's easy to search. So yeah, it's just my name, Ben Glander, and you on Twitter as well. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
And just quickly, I like to use my interviewing skills, because how did you get into YouTube, Ben?
So as I mentioned to you previously, just before we went on, I had some friends in it who are pretty big YouTubers, like 1 million plus subscribers, and they sort of said, you're good, I feel like I'm good when I talk. Yeah. I'm a passionate West Ham fan. As I said, I started off with FIFA, went into West Ham, which my dad encouraged me to do during the first lockdown. And people have picked up on it. They thought, you know what, they've enjoyed my content and I've enjoyed doing it. So I've just sort of carried on doing it. And, it just sort of, the time we live in, it sort of gives that creative element. It sort of gives you something to do as well, whilst we're unfortunately in lockdown still. So yeah, that's why I pretty much started it, to be fair.
Excellent. Well, Ben, you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Loco Leeds football channel. And, on the fan view, this is episode 3. So, I've run 2 episodes before. The one was a pilot, and then the second one was against Villa. And the third one of this particular one is with yourself, and we've not won. Every time I've done the fan view, Leeds have got no points, so I'm just hoping that we can get a decent result. But an absolute pleasure for having you, and thank you to your dad as well, Ian. And subscribe to the channel. I think that might be Ian with a comment quickly. No, it isn't. It's just quickly before I go. I'd like to give everybody a chance in the comments. West Ham will need to come and play. If they do, we could win. West Ham will play the same way as Okay, thank you, Shabazz. But Ben, I've put your YouTube link to check out Ben's YouTube channel, the West Ham fan channel. Absolutely fantastic YouTube channel. You're going to say something, Ben?
Oh no, I was just going to expand on comment. I do expect the game to go what Shabazz said. Like, I think you guys will have more of the ball, like you did at Ellen Road, and we'll just try and basically counter attack. That's I just agreed on that comment, really.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, listen, guys, I'm going to leave it just there. I'm just going to say a massive thank you to everybody who's been watching us, and like I said, all the best for the game. Once again to Ben, thank you. And
all right, thanks for having me on.
No worries. Take care, guys.